Hey everyone, a quick announcement before we start. Obviously I've been away from YouTube for a little bit, taking a brief break. I'm still on one at the moment, especially on the streaming front. I just wanted to quickly say that I am still thinking about content and I'm not just ignoring everyone. These monthly videos will continue, and I've got some potential plans for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As for Mario Kart Wii, I'm not entirely sure where we go from here, but I will keep you posted on that in due time. Thank you all very much for continuing to be patient with me, and I'll hopefully be back on a regular basis at some point soon. I'll keep you all posted as to what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, whenever I can, here on YouTube or on my Discord, which will always be in the description. With that being said, here's the only track I'm unable to play this month. Green Hill Zone, as while it is a very cool track, there just wasn't enough there to justify its inclusion. Although I do have a YouTube short on the track if you are interested in checking it out. So with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, back again with some more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe custom tracks. It's been a little while since I've played online custom tracks. I've been very, very busy this month. But, here is the first track of them all, GBA BC2, which is actually one of my favourite tracks from Mario Kart DS. Not necessarily from Game Boy Advance. I haven't played enough GBA to really give an opinion on that. But yeah, this looks very, very pretty. I really like the broken pillar look that this track has. I see this a lot in Bowser's Castle tracks, the kind of, you know, broken pillar look, kind of almost like run down, slightly decrepit, slightly destroyed Bowser's Castles. But yeah, it looks very, very cool. The fire pillars are obviously a nice touch. I do like that the ramps aren't like really large, because like, or the gaps rather, because the main problem with DS and some DS custom tracks I've seen of this track, especially in Wii, it's that the gaps are way too large to make any of the jumps over. So I'm glad that they've decreased the size of the jumps in this track. It looks really pretty as well. Like, the track just looks so nice. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know if this is inspired by the Tour version. I'm honestly not sure. Again, Mara would know much better than I do, because she keeps up with Tour more than I do. But yeah, if this is a Tour version, it looks very cool. If it's an original idea, though, it looks very, very cool. Again, it looks like a more modernized version of the older... I can't exactly remember what the old GBA art style was, but I think it was somewhat similar to this. Yeah, it looks very, very cool. It drives really nicely as well. Aren't many shortcuts, but that's the thing with Bowser's Castle tracks, especially GBA tracks. There aren't really that many shortcuts on the Bowser's Castle tracks. But regardless, it is a very, very good track. It drives really nicely, it looks really pretty, and yeah, it looks a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun to play as well, so yeah, really good start for this one. Also, I like the double box inside here. Oh, I can't quite grab it. But yeah, very, very cool track to start us off. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too long on this one, because we have already shown this one off. This is 3DS Mario Circuit by Squadaloo, and the main reason why I'm showing this off again is because he added a couple more visual effects that really make the track something special. It makes it feel like even more like the original. And it's coming up here. The Cherry Blossoms Fall, which is such a cool effect. This is like one of the main reasons why this track is so good on the 3DS, because I love cherry blossoms are my favourite plant. And, yeah, I'm just so happy to see them actually involved in this new version of the custom track. It also, to me, I don't exactly know, it looks a little bit brighter to me as well. I don't know why. It just looks a lot more bright and colourful from what I remember from the previous version. But yeah, it's definitely an improvement. Again, the cherry blossoms really make this one. Again, I go into a more in-depth review of this track in, I believe, last month's video. So if you want to check out more, obviously check out last month's video if you haven't already. And, yeah, definitely a very, very much needed improvement. And, yeah, Squadaloo just keeps making really good tracks. Can't wait to see what comes next from in the future. SNES Battles Castle 3 has got a huge glow-up. So this one I know is from Mario Kart Tour. I've seen the preview of this, because Mario showed me them. And, unfortunately, this version of the track does need a lot of work. First of all, it is way too bouncy. Like, trying to go into the off-road, for whatever reason, it's super bouncy across there. Trying to go across, like, any of these sections, like these little walls, you can do, like, a couple of cool shortcuts with them, depending on where you are. But yeah, it is just a little bit, again, it's a little bit too bouncy, for my liking. Also, I think there are a couple of flickery textures I thought I just saw from the side. But yeah, other than that, really, the track is actually pretty cool. This is my first exposure to SNES BC3 in its Mario Kart Tour version, and yeah, I mean, it's a cool track. It definitely freshens up, you know, BC3. I've seen like maybe more unique versions of this track, like for example, Sci-Hi's version in Mario Kart Wii, That custom track is absolutely phenomenal, and still I think my favourite custom track version, yeah, it's still my favourite version in general of SNES BT3. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a very cool idea. Very almost Mario Galaxy-esque with the lava, kind of at really weird positions. There's definitely a very cool influence. Again, I just wish that, you know, and also these, this section up here is actually kind of cool. Going up on top of the section here. I feel like, actually, this would work better in Mario Kart Wii than does 8 Deluxe, because, like, if this does translate over to 8 Deluxe officially, in the DLC, because at the time of recording, we've only seen Squeaky Clean Sprint, and that's it. We haven't seen anything else in terms of other tracks. We only know Squeaky Clean Sprint and the characters. I don't know how this is going to translate over to 8 Deluxe. It feels more like a Wii track, honestly. This could work gangbusters on Wii. But yeah, it's, I'm interested in seeing how this would translate over if it does actually go into 8 Deluxe. But yeah, the track itself is cool. It's a nice recreation of the tour track. But yeah, there are just a few little things that need some work. But other than that, it is a very cool track. And again, I believe Fevirre made this one. Fevirre obviously makes loads of really great retro tracks. And yeah, just touch up a few issues on this one, and it'll be great. This track is pretty cool. It's not exactly a Rainbow Road that you may recognize at first, but this is DS Rainbow Road, translated into Mario Kart Deluxe, and yeah, it looks really cool. The one main gripe, we'll get the main gripe out of the way first. The track is way too long. Like, it doesn't need to be 3 laps. Like, you could honestly just put it down to 2 laps at max, and I would be fine with it. There are a few lighting issues as well. I'm just noticing that now. In time trials, I didn't really seem to come up, weirdly. It's only really in version that I'm seeing this now. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, other than the fact the track is too long, this is very cool. They got rid of the loop-de-loop. The author got rid of the loop-de-loop so they could have a massive turn instead, which actually works really nicely. I mean, you can't make that drift like the entire way through, which is a shame. But I mean, hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, it's still a very cool, and some cool corner cuts, because there's not really much going on here in terms of like enemies or obstacles or anything like that. It's just kind of, here's the track and you drive it. Like, that's kind of about it. So it's nice that the author did put in some shortcuts to kind of freshen things up a little bit. Even if they are just corner cuts, the thought is appreciated. Glider section here too, that's always nice to see. You know, always cool to see, you know, glider sections included in a Mario Kart Deluxe remake of a track. Because, you know, I feel like if you're going to remake a track to fit 8 Deluxe's style, you sort of have to have a glider ramp in there. If, like, you know, there is a gap in the original, for example, like an original DS, there was a gap. You kind of need a glider ramp to kind of buffer that out, kind of make it really fit 8 Deluxe, make it feel more official. But yeah, obviously, space tracks all look really good. This Rainbow Road looks really, really pretty. I don't know if it's as pretty as some of the other, like, especially like some of the GBA Rainbow Roads, especially like that one by Fat Cat was insanely pretty. But it still looks really, really nice. I just wish there was a little bit more going on. And I wish the track was maybe a little bit short or just make it 2 laps. But other than that, like, yeah, the track is really, really nice. And, yeah. If there are any more DS Rainbow Roads out there, obviously I'd love to see them. Hopefully there are more made at some point, because GBA Rainbow Road is like the main track that everyone remakes at the moment. So yeah, I'd love to see more DS Rainbow Roads in general. But yeah, this one's pretty good. This one's a lot of fun. So you might remember before, if you're a fan of this series and you've watched all the videos up to this point, you may remember that I've shown this track off before. I showed this track off a couple of months ago. But it's had a massive glow up, and it looks absolutely phenomenal now. Like, look at the track. It looks really, really cool. Like, if I can get the camera to get sorted out. There we go. Everything just looks really, really pretty now. Like, before the track looked good, but it didn't look this good. It definitely had its issues. It wasn't really there texturally. Some of the, you know, the pillars and stuff didn't fall down. Like, it felt like, you know, it was a nice, like, attempt at Dry Dry Desert, but it wasn't really Dry Desert. There's also a sand pillar that's meant to appear back there, or a sand geyser rather, but again, it never ever pops up whenever I try to get it, whenever I try and take that shortcut. But yeah, it looks so neat now. Like, everything just looks so just cool now. It looks like Dry Dry Ruins. It feels like Dry Dry Ruins with the falling pillars and stuff. Obviously, the pokies are a nice touch as well. That was in the original as well, anyway. Also, you might remember there was a giant ramp here before for some reason. But no, they've just replaced it with the stone bridge now. And it's absolutely fantastic. Again, it just looks really nice now. It looks really, really pretty. And it feels like I'm driving Dry Dry Desert. Also, I know there's not the, what's it called? The zipper ramps. Like you would see in, like, you know, Snowboard Cross or Maple Street, any of those tracks. But it's still, there's the sand geyser. And I missed it. Great. I don't know how to take that shortcut. It's so weird. But yeah, anyway. They didn't include the Half-Life there, but I still like how it's very much like, almost like a Desert Hills. The Desert Hills custom track I've played on this channel before. Where instead of having the massive, like, you know, the big turns, it just makes the turns anti-gravity, which is what they did inside the ruins themselves. So yeah, really, really like this version of the track, and yeah, I don't know, if this does get into 8 Deluxe, I'd be very, very happy to see this version come back. Obviously, I know the Mario Kart Tour version, their textures are a lot more colourful and bright than this one, but I still really like it. It looks really, really pretty, and yeah, I can't wait to see if this gets into 8 Deluxe or not. And the final track of the video, yes, there are unfortunately only 6 today, is another track by SniperShell, which SniperShell, I feel like, is really good at these short, short burst tracks, 5 to 7 lap tracks. He's definitely improved a lot. This is Lost Lagoon, which is very colourful and very bright. Very much reminds me of, like, you know, Cheap Cheap Beach / I don't know why, but I get Mario Odyssey vibes from this as well. It's a very, very cool track. And yeah, again, SniperShell is very good at these short burst tracks, very short but simple tracks. You can also take a shortcut around here, sort of. If you're better than I am, you can take that shortcut better. But yeah, it's a neat little track. This. There are some bugs with it. Like playing this offline, I did actually get stuck in the floor at one point. I'm not going to try and recreate that, because, you know, I don't want to get stuck. You know, it's not my aim to get stuck in the floor by taking this ramp coming up here. But yeah, it's a very cool... oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, I got stuck in the floor. There you go. So yeah, there are some issues with this track in terms of, like, you know, just various bugs. But the track's very short. It's very fun to drive. Obviously, the anti-grav is appreciated. Again, love seeing anti-grav and different heights in my custom tracks. It's very, very neat. And yeah, again, the only thing is there's not really much else I can say about this track since it is so short. But again, I mostly just can't wait to see what else SniperShell comes out with. Because again, like, SniperShell's kind of a bit of a dark horse for these segments. Like, he makes really, really good tracks. He's definitely improved since the first time we saw him make a track. So yeah, hopefully we see SniperShell more often. And yeah, in terms of this track, it's very cool, very short. Again, obviously still has some bugs to sort out. But yeah, other than that, pretty cool track. I'm a fan of it. And my favourite track made last month is Wii Dry Dry Ruins. There was sadly a lack of tracks made last month, but out of all of them, Dry Dry Ruins was superior. It's a great fix to the previous version shown earlier this year. The large ramp is replaced by the stone bridge, the water looks absolutely beautiful, and the pillars fall! It's a great mix of honouring the track's past while adding 8 Deluxe's anti-gravity to modernise it a little bit. While the shortcut at the end is a little annoying and it never seems to appear when I'm actually driving the track, it's still a vast improvement from what it used to be, and that's why Dry Dry Ruins is my favourite track made in May 2023. What was your favourite track showcase this month? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.